Okay, everybody, back at mom's again. So, you'd be a little patient with me because I'm literally just sitting on the floor with a cardboard box. This is my most recent 5-minute project that we'll get through really quick, and at the end I promised a surprise. So this, I know some of you who've seen my other projects have seen it before. Okay guys, forgive me, I'm back at mom's again, so I don't really have the greatest setup. I'm actually just holding the camera while I talk to you. So, back with you for a 5-minute quick project. Really easy to do. I also have something for you at the end of the video, a surprise that I promised you from last week that I want to let you know about. So, we're going to need a zipper. This is just your basic zipper. I think this is like a 7 or 8 inch one. And I cut 2 squares of the sweater material, and I cut along the bottom edge so I wouldn't have to hem the top, because that is where the zipper is going to sit in this little purse that we're going to make. I cut out a cute little Paris symbol out of the material that's going to go on the inside of the purse, and we're just going to stitch around the edge of it, and then I'm going to trim up the edges a little bit and let it fray out and look really cute. So on the inside of the material, we're going to have this, or the inside of this bag, we're gonna have this beautiful material. So I'm gonna try and make it a flip purse, but I'm not sure. I think I'm just gonna keep it pretty basic, but I figured I might as well try while I'm at it. And in between this material and the sweater material, I'm just gonna put muslin so you don't see the pattern of this through this, and it makes it a little bit thicker and heavier. So there's going to be a little bit of work in putting it together. I'm going to sew this, the muslin and this together first, and I'm going to sew this together second, and then piece it all together with the zipper. So I'll have photos with step-by-step instructions on how to do this, because this is going to be a really quick video. The longest part will be the surprise I reveal to you at the end, probably. So let's get started. Thing we're going to do is take the muslin, and on the top edge fold it under. You can pin it if you want to. I've been sewing long enough I don't have to. And sew a straight line along the top of the muslin, and this is where your zipper is going to go and the opening for your bag. Okay, this is what they look like when they're finished, and you're just going to have this little lip, and we're going to fold it over and stack all of these and sew them together. So now that we have all of our materials stacked, and be sure that this material that's facing each other is in the direction that you want to look at on the outside of the bag. So we got our muslin, the outside of our bag, and another piece of muslin. And of course our stitch along the top. So we're going to take our zipper, and the head of the zipper is going to be faced down as such. And we're going to stitch along here to this piece, these first 2 pieces of material, and then we're going to flip it and do the same thing on the other side to this piece of material. So when you're done, it'll look like a book. As such, the zipper will pretty much be your binding, and it'll be attached along here. And it'll look like this when you're done sewing it. If you've ever sewn in a zipper, this should be easy for you. Just a little tip for me is make sure that the edge of the zipper, or even your piece of material, stays along the edge of your foot on your sewing machine, and you'll get a wonderful straight line. Now on this last step, you're going to want to lift your foot and zip this up so you can sew this last edge. That way your zipper head's out of the way. For this next step, we have this beautiful lip that's going to cover our zipper. We're going to fold this down, and as we place it on top of the other side, because we don't want this fold getting caught up while we're sewing. So be sure it's folded outwards as you lay your zipper down and line it up. Okay, now you can notice that it's folded outwards, and it's a little poofy right here, so we know we're not going to sew on top of the lip from this side of our little bag. And I accidentally put the needles backwards, but I tend to do that a lot. And we're going to sew along here, and when we get down to the zipper, we're going to repeat our step, lift the foot, and move the zipper out of the way to finish off our stitch. Now the zipper's out of our way, let's finish off our stitch. Now that we have our beautiful zipper in, I want to put on this piece, which will go down in the corner. Haven't decided which corner though, left or right. Do the same thing with the Paris material that we did with this muslin material. We're going to fold a small seam along the top and stitch it. When we're done with that, we're going to stitch it to our zipper. Now we got our material laid out, and we're ready to stitch it along the seam line right in this area. Right here is where we're going to stitch it on both sides. We're definitely going to have to take and move the zipper out of the way again, so that way we can stitch along these lines here. So it'll be a repeat of when we installed the zipper on the front. Keep in mind while you're sewing this to make sure and keep your pieces here that's around the zipper out of the way. So we're going to be sewing along this line. Be sure that this is pushed over in this direction that way to make sure that we don't sew on it. Now we're going to do our last 2 steps, well technically 3 steps, and she'll be ready to go. We're going to take the muslin and the, I keep forgetting its name. We're going to take the muslin and this other stuffs here, the knit material, and we're going to sew them together, and the knit material is going to be facing each other. And we're going to do the same thing with the Paris material. We're going to face them together and stitch them up around these 3 sides, but we're going to leave a gap along one of the sides so we can turn it right side out, and it will be ready to go. Everything's lined up properly. We're going to line up the muslin, and that will be our stitch line. And because we have this stitched on, it'll make it really easy to make sure that they're lined up and matched. So you might have a little bit of a bubble of the knit material on the outside, but it'll definitely add to the look. And sew along the bottom, oh sorry about that, sew along the bottom first, and then we'll sew up the sides to make sure everything is even. We have all this excess material along the muslin, so we're going to trim it down to just the muslin and do a zigzag stitch. Make sure none of this comes out, and keep the zigzag stitch on this side. Don't go over into this side, you'll regret it. It will look like this when it's finished. Okay, now we're going to stitch up the side from the bottom. We just did the bottom, we're going to do the side, and we're going to do the same, stitch a line, trim off the excess, stitch a zigzag. One thing you need to know is start from your main stitch line on the zipper where you stitch the zipper to your material. If not, it's going to interfere with this material right here, and you're not going to be able to have a proper fold on top to have it cover the zipper. We're going to come back in and zigzag stitch these up to the top. That way they don't come apart later on when you're using the bag. Finished with our first main step, which is sewing around the edges, and we did a zigzag stitch to make sure it didn't fall out. And right here we trimmed it inward so it would fit perfectly when we fold the thing or the purse back in the proper way to use the zipper. And I folded this in and stitched it so it would stick up and look nice on the other side. And on this one, we just sewed it all the way through because this is where the zipper backs up to. So you can just sew this one all the way up. And that was Fluffy, running into the table. Now we're going to fold this piece in half. Fluffy, are you wiping your boogers? Are you wiping your boogers? Now we're going to fold these 2 pieces together and then leave an opening when we're finished, so that way we can fold it out and our purse will be finished. This will be what it looks like when it's almost nearly done. Now it's literally folded inside out, and we left this open so we can actually fold it in right side in. The only thing left to do is fold this in, stitch together, and we'll have a beautiful purse. Okay, so now for the big reveal. Our wonderful little purse is finished, and it looks amazing. I am just in love with it. I think because I'm not too sure about this right here. I'm just going to fold it down and I'm going to sew on a little lanyard right here. That way I can carry it around with a little lanyard. And I'm thinking of putting my feminine care products in here. Maybe my phone and my keys or something if I decide to carry it as just a basic little purse. Oh yeah, my mom said it would make a really pretty makeup bag too. So it's just a really pretty piece, and it's made from an upcycled sweater. That was my favorite part. I really loved this sweater. It had a hole in it when I bought it. And if you've watched my previous videos, I've made a little miniature garbage can for my desk, as well as pumpkins, and I'm pretty sure I've used it for a couple other things too. And I still have more than enough left over to do more projects. So I had enough left over, and I thought, I want to make a second one. Now this one's going to be a little bit smaller than the first one, but with the way I had to cut this one out, it was made from the sleeves to keep these beautiful edges, because I stole all the edges off of the main sweater with this piece. So I didn't have enough left to make a big enough one, so I stole the sleeves to make this smaller one. And it is going to go inside of this awesome bag. I found this at the 99-cent store, and I thought it was so pretty. It's a pencil bag. I found it in the pencil section for school supplies and all that other stuff. I'm going to do a giveaway. So everybody, if you really love my projects and everything that I do, please subscribe, because when I reach 100 subscribers, this little bag is going to be packed with goodies. Here is one of the first goodies that is going to go into the bag. Not this exact one, but a smaller one just like it will be in the bag. And I have my mom, who makes vinyl decals and sells them professionally. My birth mom, who makes vinyl decals and sells them professionally. She's going to be sending some vinyl decals my way to throw in this bag, and a business card hopefully to go with it. So this little one, this key, some vinyl decals, and we are going to keep filling this bag until it is completely stuffed. So when we reach 100 subscribers, it might be so overstuffed that I have to save some of it for my next giveaway. So please like this video, subscribe, especially if you want to be entered into the giveaway. And if we reach 100 subscribers, then that's when we will be hosting this giveaway. I only have 20 subscribers right now currently, so when I hit 50 subscribers, I will do an update on the giveaway and show you how packed this little bag is, because I want to keep some of the goodies inside of it, a little bit of a surprise for those who receive it. There's going to be many different surprises, whether it is sewing, scrapbooking, junk journaling. There will be a lot of little goodies in here, and even some fully finished projects. So please stay tuned, subscribe to enter, and thank you all. Have a wonderful day. God bless.